Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z Flashback, a series of explorations of the 150 games that make up Atari Flashback Classics for Nintendo Switch. Today's game is Desert Falcon. This was a 1987 release from Atari, and one of the so-called Fabulous 11 launch games for the Atari 7800. But this is the Atari 2600 version we're looking at today. It's an isometric shooter that borrows a few ideas from Sega's Zaxxon, such as variable altitude, and it's got a few interesting ideas, such as having to collect items in the right order for various benefits, although a few commentators have argued that this sort of overcomplicates the formula a little bit too much. But I guess there's only one way to find out if that's true for ourselves. Let's go play Desert Falcon.
Okay, here we are once again with Atari Flashback Classics. And today we're looking at Desert Falcon for the Atari 2600. This is better known as an Atari 7800 game. As I mentioned, it was one of the launch titles for it. But there's no 7800 games in this compilation, so we got the 2600 version. So, here we are. Lovely wide manual that we can just about fit on the screen. All around you are long stretches of sand, ancient pyramids baking in the hot, dead air and constant danger. The legends that brought you here are 30 centuries old. The tales tell of thieves who plundered the pharaoh's tomb, loading bags of gold, silver and precious gems onto their camels, then making off into the desert. But in the night, horrible desert beasts pursued the robbers, and the priceless treasure was scattered and lost. Not even a camel was ever seen again. Now you search for the lost treasure, daring the beaks and claws of the desert guardians. As you scan the endless sand for the glitter of jewels, your eyes catches sights of gliding shadows. Something's coming. You could turn back now and be safe, or you could go on and dare to steal the pharaoh's jewels. Okay, so, the way this works, the pharaoh's lost treasures, enormous gems, big golden eggs and silver ingots are scattered among the ancient pyramids and obelisks. Fly towards the treasures, then hover or hop over them to pick them up and earn points. So to control this, you pull back to gain altitude, you push forward to land, hop or swim. You push left and right to move left and right. You press fire to shoot. And you double tap to activate superpowers. So how does that work? Hop over any 3 hieroglyphs scattered in the sand to gain superpowers. Superpowers give you great advantages, such as letting you destroy all enemies on screen at once or paralyze the Howling Sphinx. Check the gaming box at the bottom of the screen to find out which power you've gained and whether it requires pressing the fire button twice quickly. Some powers will be used up when you double press the fire button, other powers last for about 20 seconds. A new power is awarded when you pick up 3 more hieroglyphs, whether or not the previous power was used. There are many superpowers for you to discover, some of them are described on the next page. But beware, in the higher levels of play you can earn super problems such as shackles as well as superpowers. Okay. Oh, okay, so it actually gives you a text readout and tells you what the superpower is. So you need to work out what the various combinations of hieroglyphs are that provide the various powers. So you're going to have to sort of figure that out for yourself, I guess. Each enemy you destroy earns you points. Destroying a flying enemy decreases the base value of treasures. You cannot shoot the Howling Sphinx's darts. Okay, well, I'm kind of finding it hard to sort of picture what's going on. I have played this before, but I remember not really sort of getting it. But let's have a go. Alright, so 1 player. Let's start on Novice Mode, because I'm probably going to suck. And here we go. Alright, is that treasure? Alright, so you pull back to... Oh dear. I've died already. So you pull back to flight. Hop along the ground, get some more treasure. Avoid the enemies. Those are some more hieroglyphics there. Alright, so I've got... That combination gives us points. Oh, it's difficult to hit anything in this. What about this? That also gives us points. Oh no! Oh, it's the Howling Sphinx. This is a weird game. And I'm still not 100% sure I understand what's going on. Are we actually damaging him? I can't tell. I don't understand. I'm gonna check the manual again. Give me a sec. Right. The enemy each desert trek brings you to the Howling Sphinx. You must shoot the Sphinx in the middle of his face to get past it, all the while dodging the darts and nasty creatures. Okay, so you got to shoot him in the face. Right in the face. Let's try again. One player novice. Some nice treasures along the way. This is quite tricky to control, actually. Yeah, I think it's the fact that you're sort of pushing, when you're on the ground, you're pushing up to go forwards. But you kind of want to push diagonally, and that then makes you move sideways. More points. It's difficult to judge the height of those darts as well. Alright, here's the Sphinx. So we've got to shoot him right in the middle of his face. While not getting shot by the other stuff he's spitting out at us. Hey, we did it! Oh god, that's much faster. Oh, is this a bonus level? I think it might be. So presumably you just want to try and get as much treasure as possible. Yeah, there we go, and that then gets added to your score. And then you do the same thing again, but a different colour, in true 8-bit tradition. Points! Haven't had any interesting superpowers yet. Yeah, I'm getting a feel for this now. It's kind of interesting. It's also one of those games where you can tell that the 7800 version would have obviously been way better than this. But, you know, there's a valiant effort here. What we're going here is actually reasonably atmospheric as well, sort of with the use of sound that's going on and the sort of nicely threatening aura that the Sphinx has got when you reach him. But you can tell at a glance that this is a later Atari 2600 game, simply by virtue of the fact it's doing things like having text on the screen, and it's using an actual font for the numbers rather than those massive chunky pixel numbers we see in the earlier games. And it's a reminder of just how long that system managed to stick around. I mean, this was 1987, I think it said. Yeah, Atari 1987. Like, when you think that the first 2600 games came out like 10 years earlier, that's quite impressive when you think about it. Alright, let's have another go. And I mean, I know more recent platforms have sort of had no problem having a 10-year lifespan. Like, especially if you think about like the Xbox 360 and the PS3 in particular. But remember, this was the early days of gaming, and technology was moving on a lot faster than it is now. And yet somehow... Ooh, invincible. That's not invincible. Oh, you have to activate it. Alright, so now I'm invincible. Presumably until... Yeah, until that text goes away. Yes, I mean, this isn't the greatest game in the world by any means, but it's interesting, and it's very different from anything else I've seen on the 2600 in terms of structure and ambition and that sort of thing. I mean, yes, it might look laughably primitive in terms of its visuals, especially when you compare it to the aforementioned 7800 version. But still, let's bump it up to expert and see how much more difficult that is. Oh, it's much faster, for one thing. God. Almost unplayably fast. That's literally impossible. Yeah, well, that's just silly, isn't it? Alright, let's have one more go at Novice. Oops, too far. There we go. Alright, that's much more manageable. I think part of the difficulty I'm having in this is it's very difficult to judge the altitude of things. Like, it's hard to judge the altitude of the shots that are coming towards you, like whether you can go above or underneath them. And the same for the enemies as well. Oh, quick shots. What does that mean? I need to double press to activate it. Oh. But if you collect another power-up in the meantime, that's that replaces what you had before. Alright, then on to our friend the Sphinx. So difficult, and I'm not really sure why either, is part of the problem. There we go. So you have to be not quite at full altitude to hit him in the face. Oh no! Oh, but you don't lose lives in this bonus round. You just waste a bit of time. Okay. On to the next level. Points! More points. Oh, God. No. So it looks like that lake is presumed... Oh, no, it's not. I was going to say, I thought that lake was probably going to be like the signal that you're about to reach the boss. But apparently not. One more try. I'm starting to get it, I think. It's still very difficult, and it's still a very unusual game. It's one that I can see a lot of people bouncing off almost straight away, thanks to sort of the unusual controls and various other factors, but I also get the impression it's one that probably gets more rewarding the more time you spend with it as well. Ow! Right, so down just a little bit. There we go! Alright, so yeah, you can blast him incredibly quickly. If you just line up your shot correctly. Alright, onward. Yeah, it almost feels like it's more worth just avoiding the enemies just because it's so hard to actually shoot them. And I think you get more points from the treasures anyway, and certainly from the hieroglyphics. Alright, there's the lake. Avoid these bad boys. Oh no! It's alright, we've still got 2 lives. Come on, Sphinx boy, I'll take you on. Where are you? There you are. Shot in your face! That's interesting. There's like a... The value of these treasures, I think, relates to that counter at the bottom of the screen. And with no transition, we've gone straight into that higher speed mode we were seeing before. Yeah, and that's that. That's all over. Alright, I think that's probably enough of that for now. That is Desert Falcon for the Atari 2600. Not bad. I didn't hate that. It's not the best game I've played by any means, but it's a nicely sort of ambitious game for the Atari 2600, I think. If you're going to check it out, if you have the option, I'd say have a look at the Atari 7800 version, but that's not a bad port. Not a bad port, considering the limitations it was working under. Alright, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. New episodes of Atari A to Z are on Tuesdays and Atari ST A to Z on Thursdays. Check out atariatoz.wordpress.com for a full archive. Do please also check out my other projects, moegamer.net, where I explore Japanese and Japanese-inspired games from yesterday and today, and videopackgames.wordpress.com, which aims to catalogue the small but well-formed library of the Philips G7000 Videopack computer, also known as the Magnavox Odyssey 2. You can also support my work on Patreon or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.